Yeah.
this time, hopefully. Yeah.
Great.
Okay.
Okay.
You can
All right.
start. Okay.
Great. Okay. Well, good evening, everybody. In Korea, Indonesia, Australia. I'm calling you from Washington, D.C. So Keisha and I decided to do these webinar series on Namyoung and K entrepreneurship. So we're excited. We're doing like a mini series, um, a very popular mini series over there. So we're excited about this. We did not want to do it yesterday or the day before because we saw that there was a lot of competition from BTS. They had a live
Okay.
concert in Seoul, so we could not compete with them. So
Okay.
we are like the second act after BTS over here. So for session number one for me, I know you had an introductory session. For session number one, and why me? Why do you want me to come talk about K entrepreneurship or Korean entrepreneurship and Namyoung you have to understand the history because if you understand the history, then you'll be like, okay, that's why Ayman is talking about this and why is Ayman interested in this. Um, I will explain to you the history, and then next week we'll get into all the details. So every week we build up the story. So you have the story of this. So, and in about 2023 or 22, um, after COVID, so AC after COVID, AC, and I used to come to Korea a lot BC before COVID, but now I come after COVID, which is AC. And so when I came to Seoul during that year, Kishan told me that we should go visit a city outside Seoul, about 4 hours away, named Jinju, right? And so I've been to Busan, I've been to other places here, right? And I think Korea is beautiful. And he told me, um, come, let's go visit Jinju. We go meet the mayor. And I was okay. I like the name Jinju. Jinju sounds very pretty. It's a pretty name, Jinju. It means pearl, which I did not know. So we took the train from Seoul all the way to Jinju, and when I got there, the first thing I noticed it was some high rises, but it was a small city. But I saw the little river there, and I saw it was a lot of green and I liked it. I was like, this is very pretty. It's like reminds me of other countries like Italy and stuff where it's very beautiful, the river and all that stuff. And then we went and had lunch, and we met some people from the mayor's office there. And then Keisha said, okay, now I'm going to show you something very special about Jinju. And I said, oh, okay. I thought that they will show me a beautiful lake or a beautiful river or some mountains. And they took me to a small village. And when we got to the village, I was like, this is so nice. This is so traditional. And they came and he said, Ayman, look at this building. And I said, this house. And I looked at the house and I'm like, yeah. He goes, this is where the founder of Samsung lived. Now, from an American perspective, from a European perspective, from any other perspective, when you go visit someone very, very well known or a big company or a big organization, like, like the Rockefellers, like this, like the Kennedys and stuff, when you go visit their house, it's usually a big house, right? It's a mansion, right? And there's like a gate and security and there's a lot of stuff around it because or like the Elvis house because it's very famous. But the thing I noticed, it was not a big house. It was a traditional house. There was very little security. Not, I don't think there was security. And it was like in a village, inside like a small village. You walk and I was impressed. I was like, this is so nice. This is so simple but elegant. And then they said, okay, Ayman, let's walk some more. And I walked some more. And then the second house we saw was what? What was next to the Samsung house? Was it Gold Star? Which one, Kishan, was it? Which was the house next to it?
Joseon,
Oh, yeah.
Samsung,
And
yeah,
and go yeah.
TS. Yeah.
GS. And they were all next to each other. Every house was literally on the same street as next to each other. And they told me, oh, they all lived on the same street. Now, for a person that's Western, that's American, European, international, you tell them that the three biggest conglomerates in Korea, in the world, if you think about it, all started in a small city like Jinju and all lived on the same street was like, exploding a nuclear bomb in your head, right? I was shocked. I was just absolutely shocked. I'm like, what? Kishan, how? Why? Why didn't I know this? I've been coming to Korea since 2007, 2006. Now, almost 20 years later, you're telling me this now? And I was amazed. I was like, also kind of like just a little bit angry, to be honest with you, because there was this amazing, amazing fact about how these big corporations all existed in the same street. So, like me, it's like you've been hit by lightning. You now you look at Korea and you're like, this is incredible. This is like a Hollywood story. Why does nobody know about this? And then Kishan tells me, oh, we know. And then I asked him, I said, yeah, but Kishan, you know, but I don't know. Nobody knows. I don't think anybody knows in the US or Europe. And then he goes, well, we'll meet the mayor tonight and we'll talk and maybe have dinner and have a conversation. And so I go and I'm like in the car, I take Kishan's Wi-Fi. I tell Kishan, share your Wi-Fi with me when we're driving back. And I go on Google and I write Jinju. And I ask Jinju founding companies. I get zero English results. Nothing. Nothing written in English about Samsung, about this or that on Google. It's not listed. I see a lot of stuff in Korean and I have no idea what it means. So I go and I'm like, we change, and then we go have dinner at night. And then I met Mayor Joe at night. We went to a nice Korean restaurant, and this is the first time I have dinner with him. I met him before during the day, but then at night, this is the first time I actually sit with him and to have a conversation about this. And I asked him right away. I said, "You know about the three companies and more here in Jinju?" And he looks at me and he smiles. He goes, "Yes." And did you know, Ayman, that all of them went to the same elementary school? Right? They all went to the same elementary school in Jinju. So imagine not only that they lived together, they all went to the same school. Right? This is another lightning bolt. It's like a big explosion. So I'm thinking, how can one elementary school have all these founders in the same school, learning at the same time, right? And nobody knows about this. This is one of the most amazing education system that ever happened. That we have, like, imagine Steve Jobs and Bill Gates, Rockefeller, all living on the same street, going to the same elementary school. Incredible. And for me, I was like, how is the question that came? Why? When? Who? And why didn't you share this? Why didn't you tell people about this? And of course, the answers I got were very polite, were very kind, were very nice, very humble, right? But in reality, this was one of my biggest discoveries ever in my life, that I found something like this. And to be honest with you, I was surprised, angry, and excited all the same time. So it's 8:50. So this is part one. Now you know what happened in our story with Kishan. Kishan, I stop here.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very
Yeah.
much for sharing with us how you came to study 남명조식 origin of Korean entrepreneurship. Very exciting. Yeah.
If one of those 7 million diaspora is in the movie business or in the drama series, Korean drama series, I think there should be seriously a show
Okay.
about them, for the kids to watch, or a cartoon or something like this,
Yeah.
So, but okay.
I
All
want
right, Kish.
someday we can make the movie together.
Yeah, but I can be the director in the back.
Okay.
I'll
I'm
let you
here
do.
from Indonesia